Room, Danny Aniello, Keith Roth, and Punky Meadows. So here's a big question, Punky. You think there's a chance of an Angel reunion?
Is there a chance? Is there ever any talks of an Angel reunion?
I don't know. If I was going to do Angel, it would have to be with the whole original band.
Right.
I've always hated seeing these incarnations of Angel with different people. It
doesn't make sense.
Nah, you have to have Greg, Frank, Barry.
Yeah, it has to be that. Otherwise I would never do it. And I don't know if Greg would ever want to do it again or not. I mean, he's been asking me. He's been writing me, asking me to call him. I just haven't called him yet.
Oh,
wow.
You should. You should get that going, brother.
you got Danny stuck to the seat with excitement here.
Give him a call. I guess I'm just been a little shy about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, the timing would be amazing because you look at these fan sites and they're rabid. I mean, it would be a fun tour, even just to close the chapter. Just go out there and do what the. Why do you think it would be? Who do you think would be the holdout?
Greg, I think, would probably be the holdout, I guess. I mean, I know Frank would do it. I'm sure Barry would do it because Frank wants to do it. In fact, there was some talk about us going to the studio not that long ago. And,
wow.
But somebody wants to put us in the studio. Frank called me up, and he said he's in for it if I can get Greg to do it.
Wow.
I can call Greg, but I've heard through the grapevine that Greg just doesn't want to do music anymore. I don't know if that's true or not, but
right. And these days, Punky, I mean, you don't even have to be in the same state to record your tracks,
true.
So you guys can make
so odd, though.
album.
I couldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Right. No, it's better to be together.
Yeah, you guys all in the same room, kind of working on ideas together. That would be the great thing. I mean, hey, a lot of people would love it, and we hope it happens.
But yeah, absolutely, we do, man. We do hope it happens. I'm sure all the Angel fans do, and
you never know. Stranger things happen.
Yeah,
back to, we were talking about the movies, and so many Angel fans want to know about this. The Angel at Midnight movie around the time of Hell of a Band on Earth, was any of that filmed? Did you guys actually start filming that?
Angel at Midnight wasn't filmed, but we did actually do some filming in Cleveland, I think it was. We were doing this movie for Casablanca, because Casablanca was in the Filmworks, of course, with Foxes and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so they had this they were filming us, and they had Candy Silvers in it. She was the daughter of Phil Silvers. I don't know if you know who that was. He was like a comedian from a long time ago on the TV show.
It was great.
But anyway, she was in the film, and they filmed us in Cleveland, and they had the audience come all dressed in white, and they would get in for like $1. So everybody was dressed in white and angel costumes. They had all these big angel balloons. And they filmed us there doing that, and they also filmed us on some sound stages doing little bits and parts, because Candy Silvers was this girl who was in love with Angel, and she would have these dream sequences about us and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. Did you film that part?
It was filmed. It was all filmed and stuff. She was, but what happened was, unfortunately, Mickey was in the band then, and that's when Mickey was kind of getting replaced.
Okay.
And so it was uncomfortable. It was awkward because they would film all of us and they wouldn't film Mickey.
Yeah, that's hard to deal with, right? Because I know you two are really good friends, man.
I mean, if there's stuff in the can, though, I mean, in this day and age, it'd be fun to put.
Well, that's another question. Do you think that's still somewhere out there?
It's probably somewhere, but God knows where, in some storage house, maybe somewhere. You know what I mean? I have no idea. I know people have been looking for it, but I have no idea where it would be.
Right.
Probably some, or it could have been destroyed. I mean, who knows? I don't know.
That would be something that would be killer to see.
When I know you and Danny have a friendship and stuff, and I know this means the world to you. I mean, I've known Danny through the club circuits for years. Going back 20 years at this point, and he's always been a big Angel fan, and so for him to get to interview you on the radio, I mean, it's like a dream come true for him.
Oh, absolutely. This means the most to me, Punky. You know that anyway. So
it's my pleasure, man. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, and again, not only for me, for the Angel fans around who really there's not really any audio of you in any interviews, and this hopefully a lot of Angel fans will get to listen to this and really hear you speak about it all, and it's amazing having you here on the show, and I appreciate it, Keith, you having me as guest host for this.
I mean, first of all, the Electric Ballroom fans are going to love this. I mean, Danny, did you ever tell Punky the story about the Capitol Theater in Passaic?
Oh man, I did a while ago when I came down to Virginia. Me and Punky hung out, and he was really cool to have me come down, but we went to the Capitol to see it. It was around '79, the Sinful tour, and I remember me and my friend were waiting backstage. My friend Brian Keats, rest in peace. But we were waiting backstage, and everybody was coming out, the whole band, and you were the last one. And we're waiting. We're, meeting Greg and everyone. We're like, oh, this is unreal. We got to meet Punky. We got to meet Punky. And my mom and dad dropped us off, and they're riding around. There was no parking there at the time, and they're blowing the horn, man. And we're like, wait, we got to wait for Punky, And there was girls back there with paintings of you, all this stuff. So we're waiting. All of a sudden, man, my father must have been screaming at my mother because they couldn't park, and they kept driving around, and they'd come to your So finally, they got us in the car. We're trying to ask him one more time, and my mother, God bless her, she's a saint, and I love my mom more than anyone, but she never hit me in her life, cracks me in the face, and I'm like, Ma, because my father must have been yelling at her, and we had to take off, and then me and Brian look out the back window, and here you come out. And we're going, there's Punky, man. And you're like walking to the bus, man. And oh, man, it was just a crazy story. I remember when I told you that, you're like, dude, you're welcome down, brother, to come and hang out. And I appreciate that.
Rock and roll hurts sometimes.
It does. It's a battle spot. I mean, I got a couple quick more questions for you. I mean, after Angel, I think you were actually asked to join Aerosmith and the New York Dolls and Kiss. We kind of tapped on that a minute ago. But is that all true? Were you actually asked to join all three of those bands?
Yeah, what happened with Kiss, well, I really wasn't asked with Aerosmith as much as David Krebs called me up, and they had just lost Joe Perry and Brad Whitford, and he,
I remember
said
that
he tried to get me in the band at that time, but that never materialized. I think they got Joe Crespo and
right, Rick Dufay.
You would have been much cooler.
What happened with the Kiss thing was I was with Greg and I. We had this revamped Angel thing we were doing at the time, and they had a cattle call out in the paper for a guitar player who replaced Ace. And Barry Levine, who was a photographer at the time, he did everybody's pictures at the time. He was in the studio with Kiss, and they were recording. And Barry said, "What about Punky?" And Barry said, "Gene said that's a great idea." So Barry calls me up and says, "Listen, they'd like you to come down and audition." I said, "Okay, well, I'm working with Greg right now. We're doing an Angel thing. We're shopping a record deal." She says, So Gene calls me up and she says, "Hey, Punky, come on down and audition. Just sit in and see what you think." He said, "Learn like one side of the live album." So I said, "Okay."
Wow.
So I learned some of their songs in the live album, and I went down to SIR Studios, and they were down there. When I walked in, they were playing "Communication Breakdown" by Zeppelin.
Right.
And it was cool. They were just fiddling around. So I plugged up and we played. It was Eric Carr was the drummer. And Gene and Paul and I played, and we killed it, and they loved it. So we sat down afterwards, and Gene said, "Let's talk business, Punky." And so I said, "Well, Gene, I'm with Greg right now, and we're shopping a record deal." And for some reason, when I said that, he was so insulted by that. He said, he looked at Paul, he said, "Come on, Paul, let's go," and he just kind of stormed out of there.
Wow.
And so I was sitting there, kind of dumbfounded, and was talking to Eric for about a half an hour, and we hung out for a little while, and then I went back home. And Barry Levine calls me up on the phone. He goes, "Punky, what'd you do?" I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Gene and Paul came back to the studio with their mouths to the floor." He said, "No one's ever turned down Kiss." And I said, "Well, wait." I said, "I didn't turn them down. I just didn't say. I just didn't have a chance to say anything. I was almost with Greg."
Right.
He goes, "Well," he said, "Well, they were going to offer you $200,000 a year plus points."
Wow.
Nice.
And that was big money. That was huge money
back then, right?
Yeah, back then it was huge money. At the time, I didn't have any money either. You know what I mean? But I guess I just insulted them so badly. Just took off. I never had a chance to even explain anything. So, and I can understand that. I mean, that was Kiss, and they had like thousands of people auditioning for that gig.
Oh yeah, I love Gene and Paul. Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, that would have been nice to have you guys, part of it. Well, listen, Punky, I hope to pick this up with you, sometime down the road. I really appreciate you taking the time. What Angel song could we play right now to close out this interview?
How about Wild and Hot?
Wild and Hot.
Oh, I love that song. Punky, thanks again for everything, man. Wish we had more time, and this means a lot to us, and a lot of Angel fans are going to be real happy to hear this. Thanks again, brother, and I'll talk to you real soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, Punky Meadows here in the Electric Ballroom.
It's my pleasure, you guys. Have a good one.
All right, take care, my man.
Speak to you soon, my brother.
All right, man.